Hi, this is Luciana Police making a micro change every week. Today we're going to talk about the care leadership. Care leadership focuses on caring for the employees and boosting their skills in every step of the employee experience, where your main role as a leader is to facilitate interactions to succeed in a changing environment. While traditionally the focus of the leaders was more on satisfying the board of directors, where we have issues like the Enron crisis, and then through time we started focusing more on the customer experience. Now the focus has to be on the employee experience, and this is where we're gonna get more results. Why? Because we are in the area of knowledge where employees' ideas, especially as part of a collective effort in a team, have more worth than physical products. In 2020, we saw, for example, how the oil price could drop to negative values. At the same time, Tesla, the innovative car maker, had its peak in the stock market. This is where companies have to realize that software and ideas are taking the lead in the future of growth and profitability, because those companies can adapt faster to the changing environment and the factors that impact the environment. While not by chance, Tesla is also one of the most innovative companies mentioned by Fast Company. This means that innovation and focusing on people is bringing most of the ideas and the newest businesses. Newest businesses have now augmented reality. You have drones. You have new platforms. There are many things that are new, and all these have to do with new ideas. And these new ideas come from, in many cases, from new generations. Now, working together to achieve all these new objectives and all these ideas is not an easy task. We need diverse teams to bring more ideas and experience to the table, but diverse teams are formed by different generations. We have essentially different working habits. Um, the youngest employees, the millennials and generations Z, represent today 40% in many workplaces. Just like they work differently, their approach to customer service is different, their approach to safety or continuous improvement is totally different from the previous generations. So to attract, recruit, and retain these generations, to help improve the organization, leader needs to find different ways to help the generation make an impact. They had to lead them in a different way. And this is why I call on work towards a we culture way, where we make everyone, not just the new generations, not just the old generations, but all the generations work together as a team. And everyone needs to be heard because we need the experience of each of them. So, what are these generations? We see several generations nowadays. The four that we see more often are starting with the baby boomers, which were born between 1945 and 1963. Then we have the Gen Xers, born between 1963 and 1980. The millennials, born between 1981 and 1995. And we're also now hiring the Gen Zs, which were born after 1995. Every generation has different values, different ways of communicating, and different ways of feeling motivated. For example, Gen Xers complain that millennials are not committed. Millennials complain that Gen Xers are not passionate about work and work too hard. Baby boomers want to call Gen Zs on the phone, but the Gen Zs want to reply while sending a TikTok video. So everyone is different. Let's talk more about what are the millennials, so that we see what are we expecting to have in the workplace today. Millennials are currently the largest generation in the US, and they like to stay connected 24/7. 80% of them sleep with their phones next to their beds. Guilty. Yes. And 27% are self-employed. They want to buy products that create a great buying experience for them. Again, as when they were born, the focus of the companies was on the customer experience, so they want that. But they don't just want like an Apple phone. They want to go to these massive Apple stores and check all the different features that they can have, explore the product, also watch online reviews. They trust a lot in teams, in the people, so they want to see what other people think or talk about this product. And they are very entrepreneurs. They want to say what they think. Their values are happiness, passion, and sharing. So millennials are stepping into leadership positions while the Gen Zs, which is the next generation, are entering also in the workforce. What about these generations? Where you can see part of these generations is these activists, which they were born after 9/11 and they are known as the culture creators. They don't simply consume content online like millennials, but they love to create content. Almost 25% of them post videos almost once a week. 65% post all type of content, and 9 in 10 watch YouTube daily. So some of them, of the Gen Zs, are called smart creatives. Many of them are employed in the tech industry. They're creative, self-directed, collaborative, freely, and like to express themselves. That doesn't mean they don't work hard. No, the other way around, they work super hard, but they want to have an impact, and you cannot tell them how to think. So they want to align their purpose, they want to unleash their strengths, they want more freedom to work, and then also they want to develop meaningful and psychologically safe relationships, especially with their leaders. As you can see, like Greta Thunberg, they really wanna play and they really wanna fight for what they are looking for. They are looking for more than a paycheck. They want really their purpose to be aligned to what they think. In this context is where we have companies working in a totally different way of what they expect. Either these generations adapt to the companies or the companies have to adapt to these generations. So what is it that these generations are seeing in companies today? The vision of the companies is more focused on short-term objectives. Of course, they have long-term objectives, but they are not shared with the employees. Then employees feel like they lack feedback because they are usually evaluated on a yearly basis. They are awarded based on individual performance, and that boosts a lot of competition with their teammates. That doesn't allow for teamwork. So they are feeling discouraged to work in teams and in equal and diverse teams. They feel like they have to compete with their teammates. Then they don't feel like they have enough power to collaborate or to make decisions. Decision making is done at the top, either intuitively or based on KPIs and reports, but they are not asked about what they think and what they suggest. And on top of that, the other characteristic of these new generations is that they want to manage their time in a different way. They don't like working from 9 to 5. They prefer working in different schedules that are more adapted to how they think or what they like to do in their life, not just at work. But most of the companies still expect um, employees to follow a certain guideline, to go on holidays once a year, um, and prioritization of tasks is done by the leaders, which is also a big problem for these generations. They are not feeling comfortable with how work is being set. This generates a lot of frustration on both sides. So millennials and Gen Zs are not willing to adapt easily. As I said before, they are starters, and if they don't like something, they want to change it. And this is causing 20% less productivity for companies with low engagement. Employees or that are not engaged or are actively disengaged are at 85% in most of the companies globally, not only in the United States. And employees said that they would become more likely to stay with their job if their bosses would show more empathy. And this is for 92% of the cases. All of this is generating an annual cost of unhappy employees in the US for $300 billion. This means that these employees leave the company, so you have to spend more on hiring, on training, and you lose a lot of knowledge. The lower productivity of actively disengaged workers is penalizing the US economy with these major numbers. Disengaged workers report more days of work missed for illness. They have increased turnovers, and all these costs are previous to the pandemic. Now with the pandemic, a lot of things have have changed, and employees need more freedom than ever. Companies need to work hard to see how they can adapt to these new generations. And the companies that have been able to adapt and that are focusing on training and develop the employees are seeing an 11% of more profitability. So doing the effort really does does an impact. Now we have new technologies, constant innovation, new customer trends. We need diverse teams, and also self-organization is promoted even more when we have to work remotely. So there's a change that need to be done in the companies, and especially on the leadership side, to promote this work in teams and eliminate silos, even working remotely. So what are the main changes that need to be done? We need to move from the me culture, where I focus on the uh, how the company can help me, but need to focus on how the company can help us and work as a team. So instead of focusing on short term and nurturing the objectives, employees are looking forward to know what is the purpose of the company, know what are the values, and know what are the long term objectives. Employees also want to be part of the decision making. They want to be encouraged to follow up metrics. They want to understand the results and be able to make decisions. Also, employees want to be more engaged. They want to be motivated. They want to be part of what is the company. They want to collaborate more. They want more knowledge sharing, and they want to improve communication with their teammates. And last but not least, they're looking for more control. They don't want to be controlled by leaders. They want to have control of their time. They want to be able to define and decide how they work. So they are looking for more autonomy. They want to achieve self organization. So these are the facts that we have to get to achieve a we culture. We have to raise more innovation, more customer focus, more engagement, and more self-organization. But now let's see how your company is doing. Let's see some of the things will be in companies that are working face to face, but also could be in companies that are working remotely. Think that right now any company can go from one place to the other. We all have to work sometimes from home, and we all sometimes have to work at in the close to the customer. So how can you recognize your company? Let's see, what is this? This is a me company. So I don't care what the sign says, if it's dirty or not, I don't care. I'm hurried all the time. I don't care about what's going on around me. I just need to focus on meeting my goals. If I see trash on the floor, I don't pick it up. So this is a very me company. And what do we see when we're working remotely? Well, we may see someone falling asleep while we're having a call. This is virtual disengagement. And the environment looks really like we don't care. We have no commitments. There are late arrivals. There are tools in the workshop that are unattended. Safety requirements are not met. Um, Deadlines are missed. Steps are skipped. Many of the things that we expect are not being respected. Many cases, these behaviors are seen like the employees really don't care. That's the way they work, and they're not going to change. And that's not true. These are behaviors that can be learned, but they have to be learned um, either at home or it had to be learned through example. Leaders have to show the way. Everyone needs to be trained to work this way, to care more about the environment and their teammates. So let's see now how we can visualize a we workplace. What would you imagine it's a we workplace? Well, we have a lot of sensors in our body. We have the smell, the touch, vision, the ears, and most of these sensors can tell us what's right and what's wrong. So we workplace focus a lot on all these visual cues to help you do what is help you know what is the right thing to do. So a lot of companies are trying to show joy at work by having more colorful workstations. This is, for example, Zappos is not a fun park. It's really a company where it's having a ball pit in their inside. Then you can have also tools to collaborate. You can have boards. You can have white boards so that you can collaborate. You can have trainings where you see people working together. You can also have tables that can accommodate teams in any space. These are all signs that you're trying to make people work together. How do you show that remotely? You can also show that using tools like Mural or any brainstorming tool or Zoom, tools that can help people collaborate or provide ideas, provide what they think in certain issues. All these things are the ones that can bring team success. All the images shared before show how companies are constantly doing cues about what the company is about and what they expect from employees. And showing that the team leader, the culture, and the support are the parts that bring team success. And this was proved by the Harvard University researcher Amy Edmondson in her study on psychological safety. So she defined that the team structure and the shared belief were the ones that were defining a team success. Basically, the role of the leader here is build a context that makes people comfortable, feel comfortable to come up with new ideas, free to share, and able to find a team to implement them. Basically, leaders need to facilitate the interactions within these teams to succeed in a changing environment. This is where we can see how we can turn from a me to a we environment. Through more connection, we can connect how people understand the purpose of the company and how everyone links together to build a team. Then, through attention, we can identify trends, we can encourage employees to follow up metrics and to understand how they work, and this will bring more customer focus and more understanding, better understanding of the trends of the environment and how the process works. Then we need more respect. We need leaders to understand what people feel, how they are feeling. So that's the way to improve communication and collaboration. And last but not least, we need empowerment so that leaders give the power to the employees that they are looking for to be able to work the way they want. So this is basically the change that leaders need to do. We need to focus on the care leadership, which is connection, attention, respect, and empowerment. And this is what we're gonna see now more in detail. This will bring a virtuous cycle where we will start with a system where we care about people. When we connect to them, we ask and listen, so we're more attentive to what they need, we respect them, we empower them. This will bring happy employees that will be able to provide better customer service, will have more ideas, will collaborate more, and will have also less attrition. This will produce happier customers and happier suppliers. There will be customers that buy more often, suppliers that provide better offers because they trust us, they know that we want them in the long term. They will all recommend our products, and they will all also provide input for us to improve our products. This, in general, will increase our profits with less efforts because we will have less marketing efforts. Customers will be doing marketing for us. We have less waste because we will producing the products that the customer wants. We'll have more innovation because customers will give us more ideas on what they want and what they need and what they will buy. So in the end, we will get into this virtuous cycle where all starts with leaders changing their approach and caring more for the employees. So where do we stand for now? Where we are, we need to start connecting more with the team lead, with the team members, building an environment that supports them. Then we need to start being more attentive to what they need, respect their ideas and their motivations, and finally empowering them, giving them the power to improve and provide their ideas. So hope you enjoy. This is a summary of the session. We have to understand more what are the care values and how we can implement them every day. The care values are connection, attention, respect, and empowerment. And in order to practice this, what I'd like you to do is do a final exercise and try to check all the me items and that you find in your company. It could be if you're working from home, could be how you feel you're not being connected to your company or how you're working more individually than as part of a team, and how you can turn them into a we component, how you can make it work in a different way so that you become more we oriented. Thank you very much. You've done a very, very good job. Please, if you have any questions, contact me anytime. Here is my information. You can also follow me on social media, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, and also on our podcast channel. Look for Lupolis or look for the We Culture, and hope to see you in the next video. Thank you very much.